Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about why people slam breatharianism. There are a lot of beautiful people that have actually, they've been breatharian for years, and they get slammed by people because they eat or drink occasionally. And so I just want to talk about what breatharianism actually is. Um, so it's about learning to feed on prana or life force instead of food and liquids. And that doesn't mean that you can't eat or drink. It's actually a beautiful process of training your body to be at a very high frequency and to feed off of what we get out of food. So it's cutting out the middleman, and it's giving our bodies a chance to fully function in a way that it's meant to. And so it's not about starving yourself and dehydrating your body. It's about your body learning to feed from its source of life force energy so that it doesn't really need food and ultimately doesn't even need water. But your body tells you when it's ready to live solely off of prana. And so it's a very natural, beautiful process, and you don't feel horrible doing it. And you're not anorexic, you're not bulimic, you don't have an eating disorder, and you're not hurting yourself when you do it the right way. And so ideally, you work on feeding yourself with prana until your body tells you it's not hungry and you don't need to eat that food, or it doesn't need water or juice right now. And eventually, there are people that eventually don't need to input, water or juice or any kind of food. Now, if they choose to eat, they can, and that's not a bad thing. It's just you have a choice. So you're not dependent on food and water to survive anymore. But this could take years, it could take a week for some, really depending on their level of consciousness and where they're at. There was one gentleman that went through, I believe, the 8-day Breatharian transition, and he said at the end of it that he would eat when he was hungry, and he just didn't get hungry anymore. And this guy is climbing mountains and, running through the hills, and, he's very, very active and very healthy. Another gentleman basically had a very similar experience, and he is actually a scientist, and he just stopped getting hungry. And so it's a very natural progression if you do it the right way. And I don't think that you should just cut out food and water and deprive your body and force this process, because each and every person is going to be different. Now, during the process, you do go through several days of a dry fast, 3 to 7, depending on where you're at. But after that, it's about integrating that into your life. There are some breatharians that will eat when they go out with their friends. They'll eat a little bit, or they'll drink a little bit. There are some breatharians that just don't get hungry, and they can still be social with people without it being a problem. I think one of the biggest stresses on breatharianism, or breatharians, is that they still want to be with their friends and family, and when they're not eating or drinking, their friends and family go into fear about it, and people have lost their friends because their friends just can't handle eating and hanging out with them if they're not eating. So this can be another way that breatharians get slammed or misunderstood, and it can be very hurtful. So I just wanted to talk about this because it's a choice that someone's making, and it's not a threat to anybody else. And most breatharians, they're not judgmental. They're not judging people that are eating and drinking. It's just a personal choice. And they don't have an eating disorder. The majority of them are very, very healthy. In fact, there are some breatharians that stop losing weight after years of living on prana, because the prana is going to stabilize and balance the system. And so, there's fear around it because it's different. There's fear around it because of what we've been taught. And there are strong belief systems around it. And for someone that is very, very adamant about a belief system that you need water, you need food to survive, then it definitely wouldn't be a good idea for them to attempt Breatharianism, because the belief system plays a big part in it. But the main thing that I want to talk about is that it's not about depriving the body and cutting out something that it needs until it doesn't need it anymore. So basically, that sounded kind of funny, but until you're able to stay in a pranic state consistently, then you really don't need to cut out all the food and all the water prematurely. You need to keep moving in stages of practicing this until you can hold this pranic state, because that's the key. It's more about adding this way of being fed than taking away everything that you've done at this point. And your consciousness will rise, your frequency will rise, and your body will let you know what it needs. And it's really about cutting out the food for a period of time and water so that you can see that you're not going to die, so that you can also see that when you give your body a break, it can heal very quickly and very profoundly. And when you're not using all of your energy to digest food, you have a lot more energy to connect consciously with a higher frequency and get more uploads or downloads from your cosmic information, and you can come on board with a way of being in a almost higher dimension, and it can help you. This prana informs you. This prana is connection with the universe. It's connection with God. It's connection with your higher self. And when you come into more alignment with that, then everything can heal and everything can get in alignment to where you can actually be in your optimal state of existing. And until that happens, you're just cutting out food and water. You're just depriving yourself. You're just fasting. So that's not the same. You need to actually be able to come into a sustained, consistent, perpetual state of being fed, being filled, being in full alignment with prana, and being able to receive the information. So this is my experience. It's not meant for any medical advice. And like I said, if there are certain people that they're not meant to be Breatharian, and that's fine. The people that are just following their own guidance, and there's not one that's better than the other. It's just a matter of choice and what each individual needs. So I hope this has been helpful, and thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me in my whole journey. So for now, I'm eating, I'm refeeding, I'm drinking, but very light vegetarian foods, and lots of water, cactus water. And so, I'm listening to what my body needs and going through the process. And so I'll probably go back into a dry fast, but it felt too soon for me to do that, because I can definitely feel my body is still integrating what I went through on my 60-day dry fast, and still learning to live with prana. And so it's actually really beautiful to go through the ebb and flow and the rhythm of it, and truly listen inside to what my body is wanting and needing more than regular cravings. But I'm finding that I don't want to eat meat. I just naturally want to eat more greens, and naturally I'm drawn to certain things like turmeric right now, and ginger, and you know, there's just certain things that my body says, I want this. And drinking kombucha, I'm really drawn to that right now. So it's a process. And anyway, rambling again, but thank you for joining me. And feel free to comment, and also join me on my blog, MishaAlmira.com.